Hi.
Hey.
Here we are, back to Mom Proof.
Mom
The
proof.
art of being comfortable
with the
being
uncomfortable.
uncomfortable.
Well, we got to get better.
Wow,
at
we
that.
changed that up. I know. The art of being comfortable with being uncomfortable.
There it is. Yes.
Yeah, that's true. It's not even easy to say because it's hard to do. And here we are with our kids in high school and college and yes, and middle school and elementary school.
And all over the place.
Yeah, it's just this is parenting and we're trying to teach our kids about being comfortable with feeling kind of raunchy sometimes, right? So it's hard, but I think sharing ideas, stories, and building all that helps us be better moms, hence Mom Proof.
Ooh.
We got it. Yeah.
We just
But
unpacked that.
Yeah, that was pretty good,
That was
right?
good. Mhm.
But today's kind of fun. I'm excited about this because we've been talking about different things that we've done kind of separately and then pulled together organizations that we represent, different projects that we work on. And Kathleen, you started Tune Into Life, and I was really very
part of that.
privileged to watch. No, I felt good about watching you
Thank
really
you.
take that on because it goes back to the reason we're here is we want to make sure our kids have a really strong mental well-being. I don't know that that's the exact right word or the description, but we want our kids healthy,
Attempt. I love it.
inside and out, right?
It's beautiful. And I agree. I think that saying mental well-being is exactly what it was intended to be. It was really kind of about kids not being heard. I mean, I'm just a counselor at heart. So it's like every teenager I meet, I'm trying to read their soul.
You do. And they all love that and know that about you.
They do not.
Oh, shit. Here comes Miss Hassenfratz.
But for those that don't know, Tune
me.
Into Life is an organization that you started.
Yes, it is. In about, I think it's exactly 2019. I'd been retired for about a year from the school district work, and it was so liberating. And I was super bothered. I am not just saying that. There's no other word to encapsulate it because we had a couple suicides in our community in a matter of a month. And I was already like, what am I going to do next? And it was just like, whoosh. And I remember talking to Jamie, talking to other friends. I did not know you at the time. You would have been consulted with. But it was like, dude, what are we going to do? And so Tune Into Life was born. And I loved it. At the time, there were teens involved. And that voice was unbeatable. And so we're missing that right now. But there's time to grow. And, we know teenagers right now. So it's a matter of seeing what they want for us to help them articulate.
We do know teenagers. We may not know it all, but we certainly have enough experience.
Oh, I mean, we know them that they could tell us, I want to talk to them. Since we know teenagers, we need to ask them
Got you.
to teach us.
Got you.
What
Yes.
are we needing to know about keeping you mentally well fed?
And you had a couple key words that the teens actually talked to you about.
It's right here.
Which I thought was really interesting.
So this is a Tune Into Life little bracelet, and we probably have a lot more. And if we do, they're free for anyone that emails us.
Shameless.
But the kids told us, teenagers that were they were probably freshmen through seniors. There were about 20 of them at the time. And they said, after we worked with them for several months, that they wish people would listen better, that they would feel empowered, and that they would also feel respected. And that those were things that were lacking currently.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And that's good to know. I think that maybe as parents sometimes we don't respect our kids as much as they might deserve, even though they can be idiots and, do these really stupid things. I think they want that respect. And some of that comes with them talking and us
How do we get them to talk to us, man? That's the nugget.
right?
That's a complicated, it can be complicated, but I think it's just you have to be creative. It's just, how do you achieve anything? You have to find a way. If one thing doesn't work, then shift to a different way. I mean,
Persistence.
I have one child that talks about everything, has since the day she started talking. She was telling me everything. And then have another one, and he's definitely opened up, but it hasn't been easy to get conversations going with him. But once it started, wow, it's just flowing. And I love it because it's been
what was your nugget to get him to switch into it, do you think? Or besides his developmental readiness, right? He might
he's 10 right now. But it's just before I would ask him, of course, how was your day? And he was like, would never, that was his answer. That was it. But now he gets a little bit more into it. But the way it was, I would ask I wouldn't ask the questions. I'd say, oh, I did this fun thing today, or I saw this today, and it would relate to something that I knew he liked.
Oh, I love that.
And then
That's
he was
so
like,
good.
oh, and then he would start participating and then take the conversation from there. So I think it's just been like,
awesome.
that didn't work, so I'm going to try this. And now we have a pretty good flow going.
What topics do y'all connect on?
I try to connect with him on things he likes. So he loves YouTube Shorts. So I ask him, what does he like to see on YouTube Shorts?
Are we a YouTube Short?
We have a few.
Okay, we really need to get this going, ladies.
But and he said,
aren't we here just for fun? I mean, this is a cool environment to just talk about,
hang out,
yeah,
and drink fizzy water.
But I have been able to learn a lot more about him, and I think since he is in elementary school, I feel like the sooner you start talking to your kids and you continue that, then the better chances you will have once they get to high school that they're still talking to you.
For sure.
I mean, you still have that chance that you're going to lose them there for a while, but at least if you have one foot in, then you can keep it there.
I like it.
You know, one of the things I missed the most when the kids got up in high school was the car time. I think a reminder to other parents that are busting their ass with carpooling. You got to be. I still don't know why elementary school kids have to be there at 6:30 or 6:45. But anyway, that's a whole nother thing, and I don't have to worry about that anymore.
That's right.
But that car time when you've got your kids in a captive space, and I know sometimes kids get in the car and they do want to decompress, and you don't want to. How was your day? What's going on? But I think just knowing as a parent that time is limited. The times we have to make time with our teenagers more often than not.
Especially
when
when
you've
we
got them in the
lose.
car. Yeah, when you lose that car time
Stinks.
and they're off driving on their own or going with their friends.
Did you know there's a chemical that's in teenagers' brains? I'm going to look this up. I shouldn't have to go on, there's a chemical. There is some hormone or chemical that when a kid reaches a certain age, the mother's voice becomes in and is perceived as a turnoff.
Oh, shit.
Like it's
so
genetic,
that's what happened with all my kids.
It's a genetic predisposition. Like something occurs where our voices become like shrieking, terrible
Ours or
noises.
all authority?
Mothers.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
Kathleen, I don't
So
know
we're
that
like-
we want to know that.
We're like
oh,
Charlie
wait,
Brown.
I'm done. So, okay, fine. Sorry, kids.
You're not done.
I'm done. Mine is
Okay.
off and
Well,
out.
you have one kind of, they're helping, right?
Yeah, it's like deja vu. I thought I was done. I'm
So
not.
it's like Charlie Brown
So
on
never
here,
say
like
never.
wonk,
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 wonk.
wonk.
Exactly. I'll find out the chemical, y'all. That's too important to know. But Sandra,
I'm
I love
sure
that
our
concept.
listeners want to know. But that is good, Sandra. You are good about
she's
honing
right.
in with him and figuring out what his topics of interest are. And even if we don't know what to say to our kids, let's be generic and say something like, help me out with this music stuff. Why does everyone like Drake and Travis Scott? I mean, don't be offended. I just
Dang
what
it, are
is
you going to use those tickets or not? Like that's
I don't
important.
have them. Oh, Travis Scott. I don't know. We can
I'm trying, buddy. I'm
offline.
trying.
Okay. You're no longer shrieking now to the teenager, are you? Tune into life. It is important, though, right? These things are super important, and we want to share that. And I think kids are back in school full on right now. The schedules are
so
crazy.
tired. They're so
They're
tired.
exhausted. So
They're not
let's get
sleeping
those.
enough. That's another way to
I
tune
know.
into life. Parents, let's continue to guide them on sleeping. I know that sounds so cliche, but there's so much research.
Kathleen, that's so interesting because I think old school, and I know, and bringing up my other kids, there was kind of that concept, are they sleeping till noon again? Can you get them up? What's going on? And the truth is, they need to sleep till noon.
Ding, 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 ding. If that weekend is
They
the only time they can
do.
sleep till noon, let them sleep till noon. Now,
Is that more important than getting up to do chores and have responsibility?
Yes. Research would say if you want a kid that's more mentally level on the regular, he or she is going to be able to sleep 8 minimum, but probably 12. 12 is ideal.
Okay, I think that's good
So
to
we
know.
got 8 to 12.
Yeah.
That's what I always tell clients. Like, I know you're going to bed at 3 a.m. now, these college kids. But if you have an 8 o'clock class, that doesn't count back from 8 a.m. Didn't Mel say that? Maybe I've read it. Doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Let's start. Count
we
back.
love Mel.
Yeah, count backwards, and that's how you calculate your sleep, kids. So if you have to be in bed at 2, sorry, get to bed at 2. That's still a lot of leeway. But help them actually count back and see if they can get to 8.
Okay.
Like take their classes.
So the definitive on that is that it's more
Sleep.
important to sleep than to get your kids to do chores.
on the weekends at least. And mine has to be at school every day at 7:15 in the morning because of the thing he's committed to. So that's still, remember those days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Football players, athletes, band, cheer, kids that just want to get to school early and learn.
Whose kids are those?
Yeah.
Those never any of mine.
But I think if we just talk to our kids authentically, we love that word. It means genuine. It means, like Jamie said, find a topic we know works. Just check in. If you don't have the car ride, maybe y'all run into the grocery store together. Oh, hey, you want to get ice cream? Let's go get some froyo. Do something to get in the car.
Yeah.
That's honestly a good idea.
Yeah, put away the electronics.
Away the electronics. Get outside.
Oh, yeah. Let's get
Walk
back to
the
that.
dogs.
I know. Walk the dog. Get your feet on the ground.
Yep.
Connect with nature. I don't care if you live in a condo or whatever. Get yourself out. Air.
Air, the vitamins.
Even if it's 100 degrees.
Why is it still so hot?
We got to do it. It's true. I know.
So is there any other tips that you were sharing at the time or now? Aren't you
Remember
still
that class
involved?
I taught?
Yes.
That was fun.
Well, you taught the social media class that was really interesting.
Okay, I know. And but I taught like a 3-part parenting series on just parenting, whatever. But I just remember feeling like the teenagers were the best part of Tune Into Life. And so it's just that joy of like helping them see their meaning. Like that still motivates me. So parents, like, just have kids feel a purpose. Like that's a really hard thing to do, isn't it? But I think sometimes they feel so lost right now or they're imitating what they see on social media. Right. But like, who am I authentically and what can I do with that?
What if they don't have their purpose?
That's
don't know
okay.
Yet. So I think we have to reiterate that.
Totally. That's a good another episode possibly.
Right. Our job as parents is to let them know that they need to be kids right now. It will all work out.
That's right. But you notice things you like. If you do get tuned into music, take a note of that. That brings you joy. If you find down the road that you tune in with animals, that's a joy because what we're going to be looking at is balance later in life. Yeah. And is there a way to integrate those things into your daily?
But don't you feel too that like kids, I mean, I don't know, they change like from one week to the next.
But when they have their thing, they have their thing. Like my kid has been obsessed with Travis Scott. I'm not giving Travis any more plugs. But since he was like 9, maybe 10, like, so this is a thing. So I know that we're trying to change it to music.
With Harry Styles. Does that count?
So music.
Music.
I just love that kids have a thing. So whatever that thing is, we need to
Okay, so that's cool. Maybe we as parents should back off a little bit and let them define their thing. And
what's
not
your thing?
say or do you want to be a lawyer? Do you want to do this? Or you're a basketball player. Do you want to keep doing this? Do that. That's
correct.
Yeah, I think it's like focusing more on the events that are happening daily because that's going to change, right?
Yep.
And then I don't know. I started cooking with my son. He loves to cook, but I knew he liked to cook, but I didn't know he wanted to be that involved until I started saying, hey, do you want me to wait for you to get home to start cooking dinner or do you want me to get it started?
That's brilliant.
And he's like, can you wait for me? And so now I don't have to, like, he comes and does it with me. And
I think it's adorable because I'm picturing his little face saying it, but also you're really insightful to come up with just because that's a small tweak.
Yeah.
You could have taught him
That's
more efficient to get it done so you can spend time with him. And in his head, obviously,
he likes the process
and doing things. Remember how we always said, try not to talk to your kid in isolation like we are doing right now? Like this would kill a teenager, most of them.
Oh, yeah.
So it's better if you're distracting by doing something fun or that you enjoy or since we don't have the car.
You can have different conversations. But I mean, I love the whole concept I love the Tune Into Life. I like the title. I
appreciate
what it says and just even ourselves, like how do moms tune in to life with themselves to be better for their kids?
That's a good question. And you don't want to feel selfish, but you have to find a way to take care of yourself, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing? You guys are spinners.
Spinners.
Right? Y'all take spin class.
You work out. But that's also a sanity thing. If I don't work out, you don't want to be around. I'm just not fun.
Right?
And I want to be fun. Not all the time.
We have to put our big
not fun all the
pants
time.
on.
We're not happy all the time. Life is really a part of it's about imagining what it can be, but in the process of that, understanding that there's going to be good days and bad. And I think our kids really need to understand you're having a bad day. If you're having a bad day, okay, that's all right.
But let's be real about it, right? Don't keep snipping at me. Go, Mom, I'm in a really bad mood right now. Boom, got it. Not that that's ever happened, right, at our houses.
Yeah.
Actually, it has, right? Haven't they admitted it sometimes? And you're like, wow, you're growing up. That's really.
And just like if you know, it's just like everything, right? If you're having a bad day, well, it's going to pass. It's not going to last forever because that's just a cycle of life. Throughout the day, you're going to have like many emotions. And then you just have to focus on the, you know, that if you didn't have the bad, then you would know what the good felt like, right?
It's a yin and yang.
Tuning in.
Oh, man. Can you hear if we had a thing like, ding? It was tuning in right now.
I can hear it. I got it. Well, it's good. I love this conversation. So let's wrap up with this and talk about it again, because I think our goal really is just to keep talking as moms. We're doing it. Sharing
mom proof
life experiences but I feel like that we have to have a question.
Oh,
I mean, since this is your thing, you started this, Kathleen. What's your question?
I didn't start the question thing, but I did start. What do you mean?
Question.
You started
tune into life.
Oh, thank
you. So you do
okay.
the question,
okay.
and it's not what is your stripper name, like the street you grew up on. And,
okay. Well, I'm not going to say what it is yet, but first, everyone has to come up with the feeling that they've had right now during this podcast, sometime in this last 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And then you have to say the last thing you ate that was really unique.
Okay.
Or it could just be the last thing you ate. So you got two things: a feeling, and then something you've eaten that's kind of cool. So if anyone's ready, please feel free. And I'll tell you why that matters, what those names are going to equal later. I'm not going to give away the context.
Okay. I would say excited scallop.
Ooh.
I get really excited about this. I love talking to you guys because in the midst of working all the time, parenting just gets put in a box sometimes. And it's really the most important job we have. And I like to pull that box back out.
So good.
So I'm excited. That's my most recent.
And your scallop?
And I ate a scallop yesterday. Eric and I had sushi last night.
Oh. Did y'all cook it or go for it, out for it?
No, I was in California and it was so cool there, as in weather. So, excited scallop.
That's cool. I'm going to wait. And Sandra, you go. Because I haven't a chance to think.
Oh, well, okay.
So.
Because I'm listening.
Feeling, I would say impatient because I'm like impatient because I want to say what I was like, oh, that's a great idea. I want to say that, right? And then star fruit. I had star fruit.
What? Yeah. That sounds yummy.
Impatient star fruit.
Okay.
Really fun. Okay, I don't know what it's going to do.
I know. Right. It sounds beautiful. It sounds pretty. Oh. I am going to do joyous egg white.
Wow. Okay.
Joyous egg whites.
It wasn't exciting, but it is what I had
to laugh. This is the theme of our next podcast?
That is the theme of our next podcast. Yes. That's the funny part. Ha, ha, ha. So say them one more time. Jamie's podcast is?
Excited Scallop.
Mine is Joyous Egg Whites.
Impatient star fruit. What? Impatient
star fruit. That's hard. Okay, so I guess we can wrap on that. I mean, this is just going to be a thing with our questions. Yep. That makes it fun anyway. So until the next one, thanks, gals.
Adios.
Bye.